Hello there, welcome to another Verbling class. My name is Hamish. In this class, we are going to take a good close look at questions about travel. And these are questions that you might be asked in the speaking section of the IELTS exam. And the IELTS exam is an exam you may need to take if you speak English as a second language and you want to continue your studies in an English-speaking school or university, if you want to work at a job or profession at an English-speaking country, and if you want to live permanently in an English-speaking country. These are all reasons why you might need an IELTS score to do these things. These first 2 minutes of the class are for Verbling Premium users. And let me put the link in here for our chat box. Yes, if you're finding it difficult to get a place at your favorite Verbling classes, please consider upgrading your membership, and that will give you a chance in the first 2 minutes of the class to get your place at the table. Let me say hello to a premium user right now. That is Karar. Hello, Karar.
Hello, teacher.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Excellent. Tell me, Karar, remind me, where are you from?
I'm from Iraq.
Iraq. Okay. How is the weather in Iraq?
It's a little bit hot.
A little bit hot. I mean, what would you say? Is it? I mean, what do you use? Do you use Celsius or Fahrenheit to talk about the temperature?
Certificate, I think.
All right. Okay. So do you know what the temperature is today?
Today it's 29.
Okay, that's pretty hot. That's pretty hot. Absolutely. It's
Yes. But in June and July we'll have the weather maybe 50 certificate.
Okay, that's. I think that is too hot. I think I would have a problem. I'd have a problem then. Okay, so
You can't start one day here.
I'm not gonna see you in the summer, I must admit. But you know, I could do 29. I could do 29 Celsius right now. I think I would quite enjoy that. It's very cold here in Tennessee in the American South, and we had some snow today. I saw that out of my window. Karar, very nice to have you in class. Welcome to Verbling. I look forward to practicing with you. Let me say hello to the students as they come in, and then we'll get started. Andre, hello, Andre.
Hello, how are you?
Andre, hello. I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Andre, tell me, where are you from?
I'm from Brazil.
Excellent. And are you interested? Are you preparing to take the IELTS exam, or are you here just to practice your English with us today?
No, I'm here just to practice.
Okay.
I have never taken any test. I just took the ECCE 2 months ago, I think.
Okay. Well, this class, yeah. Well, this class is good for IELTS preparation, or really just for speaking practice as well. Welcome to Verbling. Welcome to this class. I look forward to practicing with you, Andre. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
Brandon. Hello, Brandon. Brandon, how are you?
I'm great. I'm great.
Where are you from, Brandon?
I'm from Guatemala.
Can you tell me again that the sound isn't that great? Can you tell me where you're from? Yeah, the sound isn't. I'm having a little trouble hearing you. I want to add a link to our Verbling chat. If you have any problems with the sound, with hearing us, the rest of the
You
students.
must close his camera and just speak with a sound.
Okay, that's worth a try. Okay, always done that now. Let me add the link while I'm here, since I've got it. Okay, how's that, Brandon? How's the sound now? Let's see.
Hi. Can you hear me now?
Oh, that's perfect. Well, that was the problem. Thank you. That was a great suggestion.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. So let's start again. Brandon, where are you from?
I'm from Guatemala.
Ah, now I can hear you perfectly. Guatemala, very nice. And there are a lot of I have a lot of students from Guatemala here in Tennessee. That we have a good, strong Guatemalan population. How is the weather? How is the weather in Guatemala these days?
Well, it's a cloudy day. The whole day has been cloudy.
All right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it can be sunny inside this classroom. Are you interested in preparing for the IELTS exam, or are you here just to practice your English with us?
Well, I'm here to practice because I don't took the first class. I think you were teaching before in the morning.
That's right.
So yeah, I'm here to practice because I don't took the class in the morning.
Okay, great stuff. Well, I'm really glad you decided to join us. That's very cool. Brandon, welcome to Verbling, welcome to the IELTS class, and we'll speak to you during the class. David, hello, David. How are you?
Hello, good evening. Fine, and you?
I am fantastic, thank you. It is 5 o'clock in the afternoon here in Tennessee, and it's a good time of day for me, I must say. I've almost woken up today. David, welcome back. It's so good to see you. I'm going to move on and speak to Iman. Hello, Iman.
Hello. Hi.
Iman, how are you today?
I am fine, thank you.
Very good.
Fine. Getting ready for Easter.
Very good. What are your plans for Easter? What are you going to do?
Well, I have been invited to go to the countryside, to a friend's house. First, there is a celebration, a birthday party, and afterwards I'll be another 2 days or 3 with another friend in the country as well.
Wow, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
sounds pretty good. Nice one. I'm jealous, but I'm always jealous when people tell me about these things. Well, welcome to class, man. That sounds really good.
Thank you.
Well, we spoke to Karar, of course. Mustafa, hello, Mustafa. How are you? Oh, okay. I will try to give you 3 minutes, but I'm very impatient.
What's wrong?
I don't know. He's freezing. Perhaps he can connection.
Where?
Hi.
Where is the teacher?
I think he's frozen. He's out of the hangout. Maybe he will come back a little bit.
He's back.
Chimón. Eran las 3. Chimón.
All right, I think I'm back. How's that? Okay, here we go.
You are back. I think.
Hooray! I'm back. Thank goodness. I'm sorry about that. I was kicked out clearly for bad behavior. Mustafa, I'm sorry. Can we start again, Mustafa? How are you today?
Hi, yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm pretty good. It's good to welcome to the class. I'm sorry, everybody, for my temporary absence from the hangout there, but I'm back again now. I'm getting a new computer tomorrow. I'm hoping that will solve 1 or 2 of these problems. Let me say hello also to Santi. Hello, Santi. Trying to get my computer the screen to stay on there. Santi, hello. Santi Cabrera Ruiz. Hello. I can't hear you yet. I don't think you can hear me. So, okay. Well, let me say hello to Alex. Hello, Alex.
Hi, Hamish.
How are you doing? Welcome back to class. How are things?
Doing fine, thank you. you've been asking about the weather. Well, I can tell you the weather pretty much sucks here in Romania today.
What's wrong?
Well, just almost freezing temperatures, lots of snow, lots of sleet, and stuff like this. You'd think in March you'd have a bit of sun, but nah, we're not getting that for now.
I'm sorry to hear that. So do you not like the snow, or is there just too much snow?
It's just unexpected, we had about 1 week of really sunny weather and stuff, and then all of a sudden, this. Oh well.
I'm sorry to hear that. Well, we had a little bit of snow here in Tennessee today, and I mean a little bit of snow. Yeah. So it was actually quite nice to look out the window and see the snowflakes. I'm gonna get started before I get kicked out of the room again. Today we're looking at, of course, IELTS speaking section, part 1. If we have time, we'll look at part 2. Whichever part we do, though, we're going to look at questions about travel. Okay. Now, in part 1 of the speaking section, you will meet the examiner, and you'll be alone in a room with the examiner. He or she will introduce themselves. They'll ask for your identification. Sorry, I've got a cat chewing on a.
I can't see you, teacher.
Hello again. Sorry about that. I'm having very bad luck today. It's funny. This morning it was fine. I've taught a lot of lessons online today, but for some reason 5 o'clock is when it all goes horribly wrong. Okay, so part 1, we introduce each other, and the examiner. It's very likely the examiner is going to ask you questions either about your work or your study. And if you're a student, and they'll ask you some questions about that. Part 1 is about 4 to 5 minutes long, so it's not a very long process for part 1. But after questions about work or study, perhaps they'll ask you about your family, about entertainment, healthy things you like to do, food, TV, cinema, sports, all kinds of things. A range of things, but all to do with your everyday life. These are questions that no one else can ask apart from you, because it's your information they're looking for, and it's your English, your spoken English, that they're listening to. So in the speaking section, you don't have to be an expert on anything. You just have to have a good level of spoken English, and you need to be comfortable talking about yourself, talking about your past, your present, your future, your family and friends, and again, yes, your work or your study, things like that, things that you would expect to talk about when you first meet someone, and especially in an English-speaking culture, it's very common to get questions about family, your job, your study, your background, your hometown, all those classic kinds of things. But today, let's talk about travel. Now, let me go to the top of my list here. Let me see. Yes, I would like to start my practice with Karar. Hello, Karar. Are you happy to practice with us?
Yes.
All right. Let me. I hope I can stay in the room long enough to ask someone a question. Karar, I'm going to start with you, and everybody today. I'm going to ask very similar questions. about travel, just so that we can all have an opportunity to answer these kinds of questions and see what people have to say, and see what good ideas and good vocabulary that people are coming up with. So, Karar, let's pretend that we've introduced each other, that I've asked you about your work or your study, and you've given me wonderful answers to that. Now, Karar, let's talk about travel. Well, first of all, do you like to travel?
Of course. Travel they have many advantages, such as science. You can study abroad when you travel. Find new friends and look for other cultures of other countries, and fun and sightseeing, and maybe I will go to see another people. How can I trade with them? How can I speak with them?
Okay.
So travel is marvelous, and it's a very important part of any personality in your life.
That's a very positive answer. Thank you. Tell me, Karar, what kinds of places have you visited in your life?
Actually, most of my traveling just in my country, in the towns of my country. I travel for a lot, but abroad I travel one time for Syria. I have been traveling for 1 month.
Okay,
that may be before 2 years.
Mm-hmm. And so tell me about the places you visited in your home country.
In my home country, I visited Tok and Erbil and Baghdad and Karbala and Najaf.
Okay, and what's the best place that you visited?
The best place is Karbala. Why? Because there are a lot of reasons. It's a regional place. So there are a lot of feelings, happy feelings. I find it there. All my sadness change it for happiness in that place. I can't forget these moments, and I will go again. So one of the best place I visited, it's Tok, because there are a lot of mountains and a marvelous thing there, and you don't feel of the day. Just in a jiffy, you will find yourself from day to night.
Oh wow! Well, Karar, thank you so much for those answers. That was and I think that's a great example of, when we get a question about travel, of course it could be about travel in other countries, but it doesn't have to be. I don't, in my questions, I don't ask about different countries, and I mean in this example. So if you've traveled mostly in your own country, there's still plenty that you can talk about. Karar, tell me, what do you think of those questions? Are they easy for you or difficult?
Too easy.
Easy. Okay. Well, that's good. And I think the important thing is absolutely to give those details. And Karar, you anticipated. I was asking, oh yeah, well, what's the best place you visited? You gave me that direct answer, and then you said, okay, oh, and why? And then you told me why. And that's very, very important. When we're looking at part one, we should think of our part one answers. If they ask, is there a place? Tell me, describe, these sorts of things. If they ask a question that isn't a simply yes or no answer, we should consider telling them 2 or 3 things. 2 or 3, maybe 4 sentences to give them a full answer.
Yes, reasons.
Absolutely, and we don't need to. We're not going to speak for 1 to 2 minutes on these. That comes later in the exam in part 2 of the speaking section. But we want to give them something, and I think the easiest way to do that is, the first thing we do is answer the question, and then for 2 or 3 other things, yes, perhaps we give a reason, perhaps we give an example, or we describe. I mean, if it's about places we visited, we can explain why we like it, when we went, who we went with, the circumstances around that. I'm not saying we should talk about all those things, but that there are plenty of things that we could talk about in terms of travel that helps the examiner understand, where you're going and why and when, and would you go back, or would you, if someone asked you to recommend it, would you say positive things about those places? So there's a lot of good things we can talk about. And Kara, I liked the fact that you talked about your feelings when you were in your favorite place, and that sense of happiness or peace or fulfillment. I think that's a really positive and interesting thing to talk about. It's, in fact, I think it's much more common for people to talk about music, the weather, or the beach, and there's nothing wrong with any of those things. But I think it's also really good if you can talk about the emotional aspect of this, depending on the type of place or who you were there with, things like that. So, Kara, thanks for going first of all, and thank you for practicing with us. I think that was a really interesting answer you gave.
Thank you.
All right, let me move on, and I'm going to go to.
I can't see you, teacher. Just a sound.
Okay. Well, my camera is. It should be on. Let's see. Yeah, I'm appearing there. I'm going to go to Mustafa. Tell me, you were talking about the TOEFL in the chat. I see that, Mustafa. Are you happy to practice with us?
Yes, sure, teacher.
All right. Okay. So very similar questions. I'm going to start my practice with you now, and I've asked you about work and study. So we're warmed up. You're feeling confident. You're giving me wonderful answers. Let's talk about travel. Tell me, do you like travel?
Yes, I like travel.
Okay, what kinds of places have you visited in your life?
Yes, I visited many different places. I visited Romania, I visited Turkey, I visited Jordan, I visited United Arab Emirates, and in each place there are many special things and wonderful things. And
okay,
Yes.
No, carry on. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, what's your favorite place? You gave me a long list of countries there. Which one is your favorite?
All this country has many many amazing places. It's fact, but I like to climb mountains. So I like to climb in Romania and in Turkey.
Okay, I got it. If you think about the countries you haven't visited, the ones in the world that you haven't seen yet, if you could visit a new country tomorrow, which country would you visit?
Okay, I want to go to Japan, and also I want to go to Cambridge in UK.
All right, why Japan?
Why Japan? Because technology is very advanced in Japan, and also I want to see a very old blossoming trees. It's very nice tree, and I want to see it. Yes.
Well, Mustafa, I've got to say, I thought those answers were really interesting, and I think this is the great thing about travel questions is that really everybody has their own unique things that they can talk about, because we all have places that we want to visit, whether we're younger or older, and we all have places that we have visited, and they might be countries surrounding our country. Perhaps we've taken long flights, or perhaps we haven't. Perhaps we've just taken shorter journeys within our own country. But we all have experiences that we can talk about, and those experiences are unique, and our stories and our preferences are unique as well. So we can feel confident about the things that we're talking about. It's just so important that we give that direct answer, and then we talk about why, or we give the reasons why, or a description of something if we're talking about it, and that's really going to help our answer, because it's going to give the examiner a very clear idea of what we're talking about. And it's worth, I think, when we're giving an answer like this, and if we want to talk about Romania or Brazil or Japan or Cambridge, England, let's assume that the examiner doesn't know anything about those places, and to decide, well, we have to describe that place for them. So we can talk about all kinds of things. We can talk about the size of the country. We can talk about the climate. Really anything. You know, are there large cities there? Is there a lot to do? Is it about lying on a beach, or is it about climbing a mountain? Absolutely. So there are lots of things, almost too many things for us to talk about. But with questions like this, we have a lot of room in terms of our answers. There are a lot of things we can talk about, and it's really about it's about the examiner hearing from us about our own personal views and feelings and experiences. And the better we can describe those things, the more clearly we can describe them. And of course, clear English comes with good pronunciation, a natural talking pace, good grammar, good word choice, good sentence structure. The better we do with these things, the easier it is for the examiner to understand what we're saying. The easier it is for the examiner to hear the story that we're telling. And if it's a direct answer to their question, the higher our score is going to be as well. So, during this class, absolutely, we have a chance to practice these answers to these kinds of questions. But outside of class as well, take some time to think about, well, how do I describe my experience with travel, and how do I describe the dreams that I have, the ambitions I have in terms of travel? Where would I like to go, and why, and what's been what was my best experience traveling? There's so much we can talk about with this subject that I hope you wouldn't be stuck for something to talk about. So the key difficulty, of course, then is doing it in English, and that's why we have a class like this, so you have that opportunity to practice it in a second language, because of course essential to do that ahead of whether it's IELTS or TOEIC or TOEFL or any English competency exam. Thank you so much for practicing with us, Mustafa. Let me see. Raphael, would you like to practice with us?
Yeah, of course.
Excellent. Let me add your name to the list. There we go. Okay, Raphael. Same kinds of questions. We're going to be talking about travel all throughout this class. We've had our introductions. I asked you about work or education, and now, yes, Raphael. Let's talk about travel. Tell me, Raphael, do you like to travel?
I like travel so much. In every vacation that I have, I try to go to another places, and I like so much and enjoy a lot traveling and visiting another countries. For me, it's my passion.
Okay, and so tell me, what countries have you visited in your life?
I think a lot of, because I've been in almost in every country in Europe, and also in America, in North and South America. Mm-hmm. I've been in Peru, in Mexico, in Brazil, in North America, and also in Turkey, Egypt, and Jordania, a lot of places.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so tell me, Raphael, what's the best country that you visited?
I don't know exactly what do you mean with best, but when we was talking about amazing experience in visiting countries, I've been thinking in Petra, in Jordania. Jordania, mm-hmm. Petra is the most amazing place I ever seen. I visited Egypt, and it was very amazing too. But Petra is formidable because you when in one place that you never thought there anything, you can find a whole village graving in a stone with temples and tombs, and it's amazing. And you think how that ancient people or people did it. and it's amazing. For me, it's the most interesting place I ever visited.
It sounds impressive. So, well, I hope there are one or two countries that you haven't visited yet. If you could choose a new country to visit, Raphael, what would it be?
I'm agree with my mate. I won't go to Japan or China. China, I think, is for me. I prefer go to China.
Why?
Because I think it's a different kind of people, different culture, different types of food. A different culture, and for me could be very interesting.
Okay.
But I am afraid to go there because I don't know any words in Chinese and they don't talk properly English, and for me I am afraid about the Chinese.
Okay, and thank you for the practice, Raphael, and that's a great point as well about the language and how much language we need, and are we comfortable traveling to another country, because it takes, we have to be quite brave, I think, when we visit another country. If we don't know the language, if we don't know the culture, if we're going by ourselves, for example, that can be that can make us a little nervous. Absolutely. I think I love that we get such different answers when we pull together a class like this, because all of you have such different experiences. You were at different times of your life as well, and that of course makes a big difference to how much traveling you've done. I thought Raphael, you gave us a great example of someone who's done a lot of traveling and can give us a list of countries, but also can tell us about countries he hasn't visited yet, but would like to. And I liked your the details you gave us about China, and I liked your point that you would be nervous about the language, but you talked about the people and the culture and that sense of difference. And sometimes when a place does look very different, that's the very reason we choose to go and visit it, because it just makes it more interesting. So yeah, Raphael, thank you for practicing. I thought that was a really interesting answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
I passed the exam.
Oh, if I was running the exam, absolutely, Raphael. Yes.
No, but it could be.
Well, it's difficult to look at that in terms of that one question, because that's a small part of the thing. You did pretty well. You gave me direct answers. Pronunciation was pretty good, and you gave me lots of details and examples, and that's essential. In any part of this speaking section. So I think you would do pretty well, actually, Raphael. Yes, thank you. Let me say hello again to Alex. Alex, are you happy to practice with us?
Thank you,
I am.
All right, very good. Again, same questions, different answers, I expect. Alex, again, we did our introductions. I asked you about work or study. And now let's talk about travel. Alex, do you like to travel?
Well, I'm a bit ambivalent towards this. I mean, I like to visit new places, but on the other hand, I'm not super excited about all the packing that you have to do and unpacking and all the stuff that's associated with going someplace new. But other than that, sure.
Okay. Well, tell me about the traveling you've done. What kinds of places have you visited before?
Well, to be honest, and it's in connection with what I said earlier, I'm not really a big fan of traveling, so I haven't gone outside the country yet. I have only visited the cities in Romania. So I've been all over the place. Well, not really all over the place. I'm still to see the eastern part of the country, but I've seen the towns in the center in Transylvania. I've seen the southern part, Craiova. Well.
Okay, and tell me, what would you say is your favorite part?
I can't really pick a favorite. Well, if I had to, well, then I would say Cluj. It's a very serious city. It has this very interesting architecture, from, I think it was under German or Hungarian occupation some 100 years ago, and they left an imprint.
Right.
So, but honestly, it's just about the city's atmosphere. So I'd rather just, if I could, I'd just visit the cities in a tour. I just switch up places every 3 or 4 months to experience something new.
Okay, that's interesting. Now tell me, you have all that experience of traveling around your home country, and I understand your ambivalence, as you say, towards travel. If you had to choose a foreign country and visit that country, which one would you choose?
Well, I'm a bit torn apart. I'm not really interested in very far away lands like China. For me, it's a bit far away. But on the other hand, I think I'd visit Spain. I've started learning Spanish a bit. I know that it's a really easy language for me, so I'd really like to visit Spain. It's especially there are lots of good architects that left some very interesting buildings. I'm thinking of Sagrada Familia. It's a cathedral, I think. It's still under construction in Madrid.
Okay. Well, that's really interesting, Alex. Thank you for those answers. I love the detail that you're giving in terms of describing a particular cathedral in Madrid, in Spain. I really like a detail like that. And of course, if we can do that, if we can be specific and precise and give those clear examples, that gives the examiner just a clear picture of, hey, where we're going, why we want to go there, and of course what we would do if we had the chance to visit that country. Well, that's really going to help you. That's going to help the quality of your answer, and it would help your IELTS score in an IELTS exam as well, because we're talking about the what and the why, and perhaps we're talking about the where and the when and the who with and that kind of thing as well. So
I don't think you have any preparation time after you're asked the question, right?
That's
you just
right.
have to go.
Yes,
Okay.
that's absolutely right. It's a series of questions in part one, and of course you can take a moment to think about it, and they'll expect you to take a moment to think about it. But there's no official preparation time, no. So we just have to. It's more of a fluid question and answer process, and so is part three. Part three is also a series of questions as well, and I think part three would really feel like the most natural part of the speaking section of IELTS, whereas part two, the least natural, because in real life you don't get that 1 minute to prepare an answer, not most of the time anyway. But yes, you're right. For part one, again, yes, no official preparation time, just a series of questions, and you can take a moment, but that's really all you're going to have. The good news is, though, and I really did like the details, and I thought you get a very high level of language, Alex. I think you would do very well in this part of the exam with answers like that. Although we don't really have any time in the exam to prepare our answers in part one, the more you practice, and the more you practice with IELTS questions that you can find easily. Any one of you can do an internet search for IELTS questions, and you'll find a good list of questions that you can practice with. If you do that, you'll find that the same topics keep coming up, and for example, it's very likely they're going to ask you about work, or your studies, or your hometown, or your family. Those are four things that are very popular and very common for examiners to ask you about in part one. So make sure you are prepared. If you're a student, make sure you're prepared to talk about that in terms of what you're studying, why you're studying it, are you enjoying it, would you rather study something else, what do you want to do after you finish your studies, and similar questions about work. And make sure that you're confident and comfortable describing your family, the relationships, what you like to do together. Do you live close to your family? Do you feel close to your family as well? Questions like that, and also questions about your hometown, what there is to do, the good things, the problems there, the jobs, the weather, even all those kinds of questions. So yeah, family, Hometown, work, and study, very common things. But travel as well, and that's why I wanted to do a class with you today on travel, because as you can imagine, any student who takes the IELTS exam has some interest in travel because they're going to be living or working or studying likely in a foreign country. So it's a natural question for the examiner to ask you. Let me move on. And thanks, Alex, for your practice as well. I really do appreciate you practicing with us today. Hey, Brandon, would you like to practice with us? Are you there, Brandon? I can't hear you. I think I'll have to move on. Let me see. Iman, are you there?
I am here.
All right. I'm glad to hear it. Are you happy to practice with us?
Yes, of course.
Fabulous. Okay. Again, same questions, similar questions. I might ask one or two other ones, but the topic is absolutely going to be travel, and I'll look forward to your answers. Yes, Aman, let's talk about travel. First of all, of course, do you like to travel?
Yes, a little bit. Only a little bit.
Okay, and well, tell me what are the kinds of places that you visited in your life?
Well, I have been in Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
In England, I was once in London.
Mm-hmm.
And just the south of Spain, in a little village called Portbou. I think I was there one single day. The longest time I had been away is in Ireland. In Ireland, I was for a long time living there, and the rest of the time I have been traveling around all over Spain.
Right.
I travel Spain.
Okay, and so tell me, I mean, out of these places, what's your favorite place that you visited?
Well, some areas of Ireland I thought were beautiful, really nice. In a sunny day, usually in Ireland it's always raining.
Yes.
And it's cloudy, but when the sun is out, it's beautiful, it's really nice, and there are beautiful places to go.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is the Cliffs of Moher.
Okay.
Cliffs of Moher.
Uh-huh.
This is in let me see, west side of Ireland.
Okay.
Yeah, in County Clare.
Really, very
really
nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another area beautiful there in Ireland as well is Connemara, that is in County Galway.
Okay.
There are mountain ridges and beautiful lakes, and really nice.
And so, man, I mean, it's clear you spent a lot of time in Ireland.
Yeah.
What's the most interesting, or what's your favorite souvenir that you have brought back from Ireland?
I don't know. I think the kindness of people, really, that's what stays in my mind. Irish people, I find them really kind and quite honest.
Okay.
It's more people than the country in itself. The country was beautiful, but was the people. I just miss that.
I see. Okay, and tell me, if you have, when you have the chance to visit a new country, a country you haven't visited before, where will you go?
I would like to go to the Himalayas. I would like to go to Nepal, especially.
Why?
It is as well because of the people. I have this feeling. I don't know them, but for what I have heard, I have this feeling that the people there is very spiritual, and they can become very good friends, very close friends. Other people that went there and came back and told me about their experience, they said about that they made really good friends, and that it's very people from there is very kind, very open, and very spiritual. Apart is as well, I think the site is beautiful as well. When I saw pictures of the Himalayas, the mountains, it's really nice. All the snow and the high peaks. I don't know.
Yeah, Iman, first of all, I really enjoyed your answers there. Thank you first of all for practicing with us. What do you think of those questions? Are these easy things to talk about?
Well, I just find quite difficult to talk because I am, I don't know, I'm a shy person. I don't speak a lot. So it just, first, I don't have a very good memory. I forget the words. I can read well. I listen and I understand everything. But then when I have to speak, I always find it difficult. I just forget all the vocabulary I need to use. I don't know why.
Yes. No, I understand you, and you're not alone in that. Of course, a lot of people when they want to speak a second language or a foreign language, it can be very difficult to remember all the vocabulary that they believe they need. And I know you were working hard. I know that to give me some of those descriptions. But I thought you gave me some very nice vocabulary. And when you talk about the Himalayas, and if you want to visit the Himalayas, of course the examiner is expecting you, is waiting to hear from you about mountains. And you were giving me, you were talking about those high peaks, but you were also talking about the people as well. And I thought the most interesting thing about your answers today was your strong descriptions, your clear descriptions of the people, either in Nepal where you want to go, or in Ireland where you spend so much time. I really enjoyed your descriptions of what the people there are like. I thought that was really interesting. I asked you a new question that no one else got. I asked about your favorite souvenir from your travels, and we talk about souvenir. We don't really have because we don't have a word in English to describe souvenir. We've stolen that word from another language. But when we talk about souvenir, and I mean this, for the IELTS exam, they'll be expecting you to talk about something.
Yeah, a pint of Guinness, for example.
That's a for a souvenir. That's a great example.
I was going to say a pint of Guinness, but the thing is that was for me. It's like, I know it's silly, but the memory of the people is like a souvenir. If I could bring them here, I'm sorry. It was my souvenir, but I understand what you mean.
Okay, I
should have answered something about that.
But I think you have room to talk about both things. I mean, you could say, that's something that I brought back. It could be a pint of Guinness. It could be something like that, and then you could go on to say, but what I remember the most, or my most favorite memory of that visit was the people and their kindness. I think you can talk about both things. And definitely you can talk about both things if you make it clear to the examiner that you know what a souvenir is, and that you give them an example. But
I had in my mind, I had in my mind all these things that are in Ireland sold as souvenirs, the same as well that here in Spain. And there are things that I don't like at all. I don't like souvenirs, so that's what made me answer like that. It's like I never would buy a souvenir from any country.
I know, and Iman, I understand what you're saying, and I feel that it is hard. And of course, there are a lot of things here in America that are very cheap souvenirs. But as long as it's something that you can hold or touch. I mean, I have I can't reach it from my desk, but I have a book of matches that I took from a restaurant in Florence in Italy, and of course I didn't buy that. It's not an official souvenir, but it's the thing
it was
I
something
took.
symbolic. Okay, I know what you mean. Okay.
So you can absolutely talk about those things that
Something
have a
symbolic.
greater emotional attachment. Absolutely, yes, as long as it's something you can touch or feel. It could be anything. I mean, it could be a stone on the beach. It could be really anything at all. So you do have some room there. You don't have to stick to the, as you say, the expensive souvenir that you might.
The
not
Spanish
want to buy.
flamenco dancer.
Yes, that one.
I brought up with that. I just can't handle it. Sorry.
That's a good example. Thank you. Perfect example, actually. Aman, thank you so much for practicing with us.
Thank you.
Let me see. Hello again to David. David, are you there?
Yes, sorry. The micro was disconnected.
All right. Are you happy to practice with us?
Sure.
Excellent. Okay, we're doing questions about travel. Still talking about travel, and you're getting some wonderfully different, wonderfully diverse answers from students, I think, today in class. So I asked you about work and study, and we're moving on now. Let's talk about travel, David. First of all, do you like to travel?
Yes, I love travel.
Why do you like to travel?
Because I like visiting other countries than staying always in the same country.
Mm-hmm. So tell me, what kinds of places have you visited in your life?
Canary Islands, Palma de Mallorca's Island, Madrid, Valencia, Alacant, Murcia, Madrid, and England.
Okay, so out of all those places, the places in Spain and England, what's your favorite place that you visited?
England, because I know the weather is very cold, but
yes,
I know the weather is very cold. That's why I say yes. I like the cold.
Well, that's a good thing. Yeah.
But the place that I stayed, all people were very kindly. If you need help, they offer your help. And when I stay in other countries, it's like a bee. They don't help, and if you need help, they said, ask to the guardian.
Okay. And what about the future? In terms of places that you haven't been yet, where would you like to go in the future?
To Victoria, to Japan, China, and some lakes in El Cairo.
Okay, so tell me, why would you like to go to Japan?
Because I like Oriental food, and I would like to go and see how it prepares to prepare in my home.
A different question. What countries, if we think about the countries that you haven't been to, are there countries that you think, oh, I never want to visit those ones?
For example, let me think. Pakistan, sorry for the Pakistanis. What else? Iran.
Okay.
I don't think anything more.
Okay. Well, those are interesting answers. What do you think about those questions, David? I mean, is it easy for you to talk about the places you visited?
Yes, because the exam I have on the 11th of April, so if I won't answer.
Okay, nice one. Well, thanks for those answers, David. I appreciate you practicing with us. Very nice to see you as always. I want to make sure I can fit in one more student. So let me see. Nas, hello Nas, how are you today?
Hi, Cheetah. I'm very well, thank you. What about yourself?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. I'm waiting for the snow to stop in Tennessee. Ness, are you happy to be our last practice of the day?
Yeah, why not? Let's go
Fantastic.
for it.
Oh, good attitude. I like that. Good answer. Let's talk about travel, Ness. Do you like to travel?
I love traveling. Seriously.
Yeah.
I think it's my passion.
Oh, okay. Well, and so why are you so passionate about traveling?
Because basically I love to see like different culture, different country, different places, different kind of people, different, things, and discover basically, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so tell me, what kinds of places have you visited in your life?
So yeah, I visited Morocco, Tunisia, because basically I'm originally from Algeria. So it was just near to go there. Yeah, UK. I live in the UK right now, and France. I went to France. I just basically come back from France. I went for holiday last 2 weeks. Sorry, just get back from France. So I went to Marseille.
Very nice.
Yeah, thank you. It was absolutely beautiful. Yeah.
So I mean, is that your favorite? What's the favorite place that you visited?
Favorite place till now is United Kingdom, London.
Why is that?
UK, London.
No, yeah. Why is it your favorite?
Because I do live here. And I find it like easier for me to. I find job in here. My life is in here basically. I've got my wife, my beautiful wife, so I love her. And yeah, the weather. I do like the weather because basically I come from hot weather. So most of the people they live in the hot weather, they love the cold weather. So it's always the opposite. And as soon as I get here. I just hear like a lot of people. They say, "I can't. I wish if I live in your country." Yeah, let's swap. Just can I have my life there?
That's interesting. That's interesting. I must say. Yeah, I think sometimes I miss the cold weather in the UK. It's true, but I also like blue skies as well. I have to be honest. Naz, tell me, what about the future? Where would you like to visit in the future?
In the future, I'd love to visit all the world, to be honest. But,
for example?
Yeah, yeah, especially I want to go to the places like it's in the top, which is USA, New York. And I wanted to drive from New York to Las Vegas in the double car, convertible car.
A convertible, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, if you did that drive, if you went from New York City to Las Vegas, what kinds of things would you do on that journey?
On that journey,
yeah,
I will definitely stop in petrol station, which is they look very cool and fashionable. It's like old fashioned, you know what I mean? And especially like the Route 66. I love to do it. It's kind of dream for me. Just to do a drive over there is amazing. I'd love to discover. See around. Like I saw in America, like you got a route. They're quite big. They're not as small as us. Wide. Yeah, wide. I said, yeah. My wife just correct me. You shouldn't do that.
Thank you very much. I was hearing two such British English voices there. I thought I was hearing double there.
That was my wife. Yeah.
Nas, thank you so much. Thank you so much for those answers.
Yes. Thank you.
I think I really liked your enthusiasm. I like the details, and of course, I love the British English pronunciation, which is fun. We don't need to have British English for the IELTS exam, not at all. They don't care if it's British or American, but it was fun for me to hear that, and I feel quite homesick. just hearing your voice, to be honest. So Nat, good answers, strong details, and the enthusiasm. This is a good thing. It's a good thing, especially because we're talking about ourselves. We're answering questions. What do we want to do? What do I want? Why do I want it? When do I want to go somewhere? Where would I like to travel? Where have I traveled? They're all questions, and I mean this for everybody here. These are all questions about you, and your answer is going to be even better if you speak about this in an enthusiastic way. If you speak in a quite a passionate way, that can be very difficult to do with a complete stranger. And I know your examiner will be a stranger, and you'll be a little bit nervous, not too nervous, because you'll have practiced for an exam like this. So I know it can be difficult, but when you're practicing, imagine you're talking, maybe with an old friend or a family member, and think of the passionate way, the enthusiastic and energized way you can talk to them about things that maybe you love or things that mean a lot to you. And if you speak with that kind of energy, it's going to help your volume. It's going to help your pronunciation and your talking pace, and should help you maybe find some of those words that otherwise you just can't quite remember when you're asked a question
exactly,
like that.
Definitely. It happened to me basically all the time. I mean, like the only problem I got, which is like when I start a proper conversation. I mean, kind of business conversation or whatever, any kind of conversation.
Yeah, and then
and then I just kind of stop like thinking about what to say, how to say it, to classify like the word and the sentence, and sometimes I find it quite hard.
No, that's absolutely. I think, and that can be. Some people are very good at that, and some people find it more difficult. If we find it more difficult, well, we need to practice, and we need to. And of course, the things that we can talk about, the ways that we start a conversation in the UK, is really quite different to the way we would start a conversation in the United States or even in Australia as well. So it's. I mean, you have an advantage living there in the UK, because to know the culture better is to understand how we can begin a conversation and what people expect to hear from you as well in your answers. I want to say, everybody here in the room, thank you so much for your answers. I'm going to do more of these IELTS speaking classes, more TOEFL classes. Please follow me on in Verbling, and also like me on Facebook, because I'm going to, as I did this week, I'm going to publish my Verbling schedule either every Sunday or Monday, so you can see what classes I'll be running each week on Verbling. Again, thank you so much for your questions and your answers and your conversation. I found it all so interesting to hear your answers today. And have a good day, have a good morning, afternoon, night. I'll see you all again very soon, okay? Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
All right, bye-bye, everybody.